Good evening, and welcome to Creative Broadcasting, the station of unlimited possibilities. Presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Ashley Little. A little bit about myself: corporate professional by day, entrepreneur by night, 5-time best-selling author, CEO and founder of Ashley Little Enterprises, LLC, owner and creator of Creative Broadcasting, and co-founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP. Tonight we have an amazing special VIP guest by the name of Ronell Miller. A little bit about him. Ronell Miller has a background in international business where he obtained his degree from North Carolina A&T State University. After receiving his degree in 2016, he got involved in politics and was a financial associate for Democratic Congressional Candidates across the country. Ronell created HBCUstartups during this time. As well, he saw a need to connect various entrepreneurs that went to HBCUs. HBCUstartups is the first online marketplace for HBCU businesses to sell their products to the world. HBCUstartups' purpose is to provide more recognition for HBCU students and alumni entrepreneurs. Also to educate people on the importance of buying from these entrepreneurs. Now HBCU businesses can sell their products in one central location to the HBCU community and the world. We're targeting startup businesses, but every person that owns a business can place their products on the platform. Welcome to the table, the amazing Ronell Miller.
Yes, thank you, Ashley. I'm glad to be joining you tonight.
I'm excited to have you at the table. Can't wait for you to share your knowledge with my listeners. So please tell us more, Ronell, about your entrepreneur journey.
Well, so I guess first and foremost, it starts with the background with my family. Growing up in an entrepreneur household, my mom's been in and out of real estate, but also she has her own HR business. So, like, being around my mom, that person with that same type of determination, I think some of that, with your family starts to rub off on you, especially from a young age. So I always knew I wanted to go to school for business. Like I said, I went to North Carolina A&T and got a degree in international business. So a lot of finance, international relations. So yeah, I'm all about building relationships. I think that's the biggest things in terms of marketing is building positive relationships with people, because you never know when, someone can scratch your back, you can scratch theirs. So pretty much saw a need that a lot of businesses weren't getting the same support. When we typically think of startups, a lot of the recognition comes from, a lot of, people that don't come from the same background as you and me. They're going to MITs of the world, the Stanfords, the Yales, the Harvards. And I just said, well, let's share the light of the people that's doing the same things on the campuses that I went to, specifically, HBCUs, and let's start highlighting some of their stories. So as you know, we're constantly sharing positive articles about businesses that are coming out of there. We're sharing, reposting content for them on our Instagram and Facebook pages. So that's one of the biggest things I think, in terms of my journey and like where I'm at now is kind of where I'm at now in my life.
Okay, I love that. So you saw a need to connect various entrepreneurs that went to HBCUs. So can you tell us more about that? Where you're at on that in that journey, and what what more so inspired you to do it?
One of the big things is I feel like a lot of times some of the startups don't get the same media attention. I think that's one. Two, I think the importance of the dollars that, just HBCUs as a whole produce for people, we kind of need that same kind of pipeline in terms of investment. So our end goal with our business model is we want to kind of do like some of the things that Amazon has done. With the money that we raise from our subscription, we want to go back in the community and we want to invest, right? We want to help them improve their supply chain networks. We want to help host more pitch competitions. So that's really our whole structure and where we're going in terms of our strategy. Now, in terms of working more like with the HBCUs, like we have a partnership right now with HBCU Business Deans Roundtable. So we're really honing in on trying to connect with more students that are currently on campus that are in that idea phase as well, and that are trying to, create products or create services, giving them that good structure. So with that, connecting them with other business professionals that are in my network or, other networks that I'm a part of that can help them kind of connect those dots on that mentorship level and, that, like I said, that possible investment. So, yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to do it. There's a lot of money, some HBCUs currently, operate and they produce a lot of money for the cities that they're in. Some of them, their majority of their economy is centered around, that specific HBCU. So we need to capitalize on that. We need to invest and, spread more of that, keep it more, talking about the black dollar and just, people of color as well. People from other underserved communities, different disciplines. So that's pretty much that.
I love that. And I love it. Thank you for creating that space for our HBCUs and to be able to shine light on our businesses, right? To give back and support our own, which is what I want to talk about next, is why is it so important for us to support our own? What are some of the things that you would like to share with our listeners about that? Because I think that's so important when it comes to this.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is we create more jobs and we invest in, more specifically startups, and, a lot of them, not all of them have to be centered around tech, like all the new tech giants, but even your local mom and pop shop, your local hairdresser, right? Give them a chance, work with them. They're still a startup. I think you have to kind of understand that they don't have the same investment as a Fortune 500 company, right? But they can still do and provide a different level of service, and you can connect with them from a different level. Like, you're more likely to be connected with them. That's a corporate executive member of, let's say, CBS or Johnson & Johnson, right? Like, big companies. So I think that's important when we invest back, because then we're creating more dollars circulating in our community. We can invest in more things. And we're starting to move into the future, right? So, I like to talk a lot about tech. Like, my specific, our marketplace is a fintech company. But we can still help and support all the other businesses that are products and give them that same access to kind of scale, right? So I think that's important too, giving people the opportunity to drive their business at scale if their supply chain is there is important. Yeah, so those are the main things that come to my mind right now.
Creating more dollars, supporting other businesses. I love that. And creating more jobs. That's the key. That is the key. So what are some strategies you would give to listeners on the importance of buying from, our HBCU students and alumni entrepreneurs, which is why you created the online marketplace, right? So what are some of the advantages and benefits that would help for them to invest in your marketplace?
Well, I mean, one of the biggest things is they're going to have more access to that community, right? Like I said, we're working directly with business deans on campus, so they know the students that are there. They know the professors that are there. So you have access to some people that have a little money that want to spend, that want to connect with, with more HBCU business and not just the ones specifically on their campus. So I think that's important. Two, you don't know who's looking at this. Like, we have former deans that are on here that are former executives. They have different friends that they're rubbing shoulders with at different companies that want to invest, right? They have a little bit more money. So I think that's important from an entrepreneur perspective, is the people that are actually watching, listening to market. And there are other black professionals. Maybe they didn't go to HBCUs, right? But they want to support and look at and help young black talent. Also, one of the big things is, like I said, we're trying to give back. So, like, a portion of the subscribers that come from the deans that refer as businesses, we're giving money back to business schools to help with their programs and the things that they have going on. So very socially driven as well. Also, I would say that we're trying to circulate that dollar more in our community. So working with these students hands-on, like, I wish I had some of these opportunities, and connecting with people and, mentorship. We want to help also partner up with some black institution, black banks that, focus on their financing. and, at least presenting that to them, different things that can help them, different people that may have a bit. So I think that's all important. I think that's all very vital and important.
Yes, and it is important that we circulate our dollars and that they have that access, right? Because you're right, when you have a community where you can have access to so many different, opportunities and, possible jobs, that makes it a difference, right? And then us hiring our own, right? Going back to hire our own as well. So I love that.
Yep, exactly. And also just giving them really a fighting chance to see, like I said, testing that scale is good. Like HBCUs produce multi-millions of dollars in GDP, right? Like let's even just talk about homecoming season, which is still around for some schools. All those investment dollars from different companies, right, or dollars that are given to local small businesses. But how much of that money is really given back to our institutions, and how much of that money is given back to providing people back with some jobs? Sure, you have some companies that come back out and they have their job fair, they'll do a pop-up at the schools during homecomings, but I think it's important when we circulate our dollar, we create more opportunities and we can hire more people, because a lot of these people that have created these big companies and things like that, like I said, they don't come from a lot of our same schools, so they're used to going to hire people that come from similar backgrounds as them, which isn't a problem. But that's necessarily what's been being done over, hundreds of years. So we have to implement that same system. It's not about reinventing the wheel. It's about taking the same wheel and, doing things that kind of a lot more of our people were doing during segregation and providing that access.
Yes, and that's the key, hiring more of our people. So what are your thoughts on what's going on with our HBCUs now, in the White House with the funding situation? What are your thoughts?
It just goes back, to kind of what I'm saying. These people don't come from similar experiences. They don't really see the need in them. They feel like, they're being forced to invest, when really HBCUs have been investing in this country for, hundreds of years. So I think it's just really a matter of fact that we got to recognize what kind of we're dealing with. Like even right now, got the Byron Allen case that's taking place today in Supreme Court. That's talking about economic injustice and different access to, government contracts and things like that against Comcast. So you have a real fight for economic inclusion, and there's really people in higher places that I think sometimes we kind of get confused on, and what's their agenda? Their agenda sometimes isn't the same as ours. So we got to create our own agenda and create our own economic opportunities as well, because if not, we're leaving it for other people to make decisions in rooms that we're not even, majority of us are in. That's why we have a lot of these diversity initiatives and things of that nature, because they're trying to do better. But in the reality, let's face it, it's kind of some companies are really dropping the ball. So I think that's where it just comes into play. I don't think and then I just feel like that's just what's going to have to separate us, is we got to recognize things for kind of what they are. And but sure, I do understand the pain of wanting the government to fund some of these schools. Some of them are in, critical finance situations. So taking the money that they usually get from the federal government. I completely don't agree with it. But just elections have consequences is just all I'm going to really say on that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. So, what do you want to see HBCU startups in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, more in the investment stage, so more money that's raised from the community. Working more with students on campus, alumni, taking that and maybe creating a venture capitalist board, specifically for targeted HBCU startups. And giving them access to capital that a lot of these other VCs aren't doing. I think that's where I kind of see it going in 5 years.
I like that. So I asked all of my guests this question, Ronell, and I see that you have built multiple tables for yourself. So how did you create your seat at the table?
One, just starting with self, seeing where there's a problem and how you can help. I think that's one of the biggest ways you can create a seat at the table is coming with actual ideas and, testing it. Like this has taken, over 2 years. The first MVP that I created failed. So sticking with it, not backing out with something you say you're going to do, no matter how long it takes. I think that shows a level of commitment. Also, I would say building partnerships with people. Like I said, networking, trying to talk to people online more, connecting dots, doing your research, I think is important. I think that's kind of how I created my seat at the table.
And you have, and I just want everybody to know that Ronell is constantly giving back and, like he said, partnering and collaborating. He's definitely somebody to know and somebody to connect with, and he's doing some amazing things in the community and throughout the world. So thank you, Ronell, for creating this space to help our entrepreneurs, our alumni entrepreneurs, and our HBCU students to understand the importance of investing in our own.
Yep. Thank you.
So you are welcome. So all about, on our journeys, a lot of people don't like this part, but it's part of the process, and it's embracing the process to get to the next level. So what did failure teach you on your journey?
That you got to have systems in place to whether that's capital or whether that's just patience, like just have systems in place when failure happens that you don't kind of just go off the hinge. I feel like that kind of happens for people is like they want it now, they want it fast. They see everybody else has these stories of, oh, I did this and in 1 month I'm a multi-millionaire. No, I feel like slow and steady needs to be preached more. Because things do happen. There's a lot more mistakes and hiccups in business than there are a lot of positive highlighted moments. You're gonna get a lot more no's and you get yeses from people. And don't be afraid of like criticism, like being critiqued. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's product or service is perfect. There's always room for evolution. Right, and there's always new innovation that's coming out. So, adapting, being adaptable in kind of those difficult times, I feel like is how you deal with it.
I love that, because that's so important, right? Knowing that we all can win and knowing that it's room for all of us at the table at the end of the day.
Yep, exactly.
So what did success teach you on your journey? Because you're very successful.
Humble yourself. There's someone that's doing more than you. They're just like there's some people that are doing less than you. I just feel like not letting it go to your head, taking days off. Sometimes it's too much, like where I get sometimes a lot of people contacting me about different things they're working on, which is great. Like please contact. But I think having that time to your space, like to just focus, in on your personal life too, that balance. I believe in healthy balance. Like, sure, I work a lot. I don't have a problem with working. I've been doing this since I was 18. But just understanding that, this stuff can be gone tomorrow. Like, innovation is real. Like, there's industries being wiped out, right? Like, people didn't expect, Amazon or some of these other big companies to come in and just take their market share of their industry so fast, right? So, like, just knowing that everything can happen really fast, but everything can dwindle very fast as well, I feel like is very, very real. People have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, and just staying humble. That's the key thing to success. So what can we expect from you, Ronell? I know I'm working with you with some things myself, but what can we expect from you the rest of 2019? I know we're in the fourth quarter, and I know you're going to finish it strong. So what can we expect from you?
Just more getting ready for 2020. This kind of part, I just want to work more with, working more with the students and the business deans. So it's going to be kind of a little bit more behind the scenes for me, but I want to do, one thing we are working on. So we were doing earlier in the year a HBCU news podcast on Sundays just so people can tune in and see what's going on campuses and, out there in the alumni world. We'll highlight a business per week. So we're going to either go back to bi-weekly or weekly, but we'll have our first podcast back up. You guys can check it out on Apple Podcasts. It's called HBCU News. So we're trying to bring more audio bridge to what's going on to the campuses so, the parents can join in on their drives. A lot of people are using podcasts now, lunch breaks or during work. So we kind of want to bring that audio bridge of the news right now. And that'll be with a partnership with HBCU alum on Instagram and Facebook. You guys can check them out.
I love that. And you said you will be doing them bi-weekly. So, listeners, make sure you tune in to hear the great things that Ronell and his company is doing with HBCU Startups, to hear what's going on with our HBCUs and continue to give back and see how we can continue to solve the problems and continue to make sure that we keep our HBCUs in good standing. So definitely connect with him and get involved in solutions, because that's what we're about, creating those solutions. So can you please tell our listeners, Ronell, how they can follow you and support you on all social media platforms?
HBCU Startups on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. That's pretty much it. And then you guys can visit the marketplace, HBCUstartups.com. But Instagram has a lot of the different initiatives we have too. Like currently, I'm looking for more business owners to come out and speak on the Black College Expo tour that's going to be going off through next year. So you guys can check that all out. Instagram and Facebook, we're big.
Yeah, so definitely connect with him and, get involved. As he just stated, another opportunity for you. So definitely do that. Now, one question I would like to ask Ronell, if they want to submit their businesses to be a part of your marketplace, is there a fee or is it just a submission process?
Submission process, the first 30 days is free. As I said, we have a subscription base, so it's just like Amazon. It's about $20 a month. It's cheaper than Amazon and other ones. So it's only $20 a month. Like I said, a lot of that's going to be going back to community projects and helping the business students and scaling our business more internationally. So that's pretty much it. You pay that, and then you can set whatever price you want for your store. You can have multiple products. You're not limited. It's pretty wide open, yeah. So just $20 a month. First 30 days is free.
So definitely get involved for our listeners. This is an awesome opportunity. Definitely get involved. Well, Ronell, thank you so much for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to come to the table tonight, and I can't wait to invite you back.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been great.
I appreciate you, too. And I look forward to working with you.
Yep. Stay in contact. Yep. We'll stay in contact.
All right. Thank you. So I would like to give a special thanks to Tammy Collins Marquis and John Schamberger. I would also like to give a special thanks to Arthur Kimberly McLemore and my intern Sarah from Tennessee State University and my intern Vontaria from Winston-Salem State University. You all may follow me on Facebook at Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.